What's that?
Yeah, Patrice was over.
Yeah,
She was talking about you. Well, it was all good. It was all good.
Governor,
All right.
housing, explain to us what's going on, because you put $250 million aside for housing, but people are still protesting that they don't have enough housing for the homeless. What's going on?
Well, you're implementing the plan as quickly as we can. That budget was passed, I think, in June 27th. I signed that budget. So we're implementing many ways to be helping. We were at Crossroads this morning. We talked about a significant amount of dollars. I think it was $36 million that has been appropriated to help on the homeless issue in the state of Rhode Island. So, and then also the Crossroads had another $10 million that was going to help them with about 176 units for transition housing. So we'll get it done, and Secretary Saul is working on it along with our office. So we're very excited about it. And of course, the Speaker is being very supportive. And we started this in my first budget, by the way, right? So in the first budget, I put in an annual funding stream that was for low income housing, affordable housing. So we've already started the process, and we're working on it. Last year we released, I think, $5 million for homelessness. This year we just talked about $3.5 million with another 226 shelter beds on the market in the mix before.
Governor, the advocates who marched on your office this morning said that all of that is well and good, but it lacks the urgency required now that the cold weather is here and more than 400 homeless are still in the streets.
Well, we appreciate the advocates out there. We listened to them last year. That's why we put $5 million out on to help with the homeless issue last year, and now this year we've got it passed in the budget. So the advocates are fine, but remember, right now we're working with advocates that are clearly on board. They responded to the RFP that we put out to put more units, more shelter in place before Thanksgiving, before the cold weather comes. So we're working with the people who are actually doing the work right now, and we're going to make sure we make the progress.
What's going to be in place before Thanksgiving?
I think that right now, I think we announced on Friday that there will be another 240, shelter beds that'll be in place on the way to kind of. I think the 350 was the number this year. So we'll be in the spot where we'll deliver on the promise that I made last year. That on the coldest day of the year, any day of the year, if somebody needs a warm bed to sleep in, they're going to have it.
Why is the tax rebate so important this year today?
Yeah, the tax, this child tax rebate is part of the plan. I think that both the Ryan Pearson, Senator Pearson, as well as the Speaker just talked about. I was finding ways to help families, work our way through the impact of the COVID, which is exactly what's happened. So the check's going out now. I think that we're very happy with Director Savage and our whole department for making sure that this is seamless. Initially, we had talked about waiting for the tax time in April of 23, but this dollars are going out today as a direct result of their.
Were these times specifically to help with your re-election campaign?
Well, that would have happened in the primary if that was the case, right? So this was based on the timing of getting it out as quickly as possible. And I applaud Nina and her whole staff for making this happen very quickly in relationship.
What
because
pushed
this
it
is
into October?
Well, it takes about 90 days to actually implement things in a way that you get it done. And this was passed on, like I said, I signed the budget on June 27th. So this is really good work by our state workers and by the taxation department to get this done in a seamless way. And right now we have a portal that was set up, as we mentioned. People can go there if they think they're getting lost in the shuffle or they've changed their address or what it might be. So we're going to have some cleanup work to do, but the overall majority of the families, I think about 115,000 families receiving over $40 million of tax relief right now is critical to keep our economy going.
Can I infer you said you would have done it for the primary? Do you think that's going to be tougher than the general? Is that why?
No, I didn't say that. I said I responded to your question that it was meant that this was somehow a political motivation. This is a motivation to keep our economy going. Anybody who asks that question or questions the timing on this is just not on, they're not on
So,
target.
could you have done more? I mean, given the amount of surplus that the state had, the federal, well, I guess the surplus, but could the state have done more than 250 and given people more money?
Well, the 250 came from the APRA funds, right? These dollars are coming from the surplus, this child tax credit is coming from the surplus. And we're very fortunate that, again, the idea that, we are making significant progress here, Brian. So when you start talking about the surplus that we had as a direct result of the management that we provided over the last year and a half, and now we're going to do it again this year, we're going to run another surplus this year. And then when you actually see that the surplus dollars from the May revenue estimates, we actually realized another $200 million. We'll be back to the General Assembly, as I was part of my list of using the surplus was at least for a 4% decrease on every electric bill in the state of Rhode Island. We're going to ask the General Assembly to take that up early in the session and take up early matters in the session so that we can clear the way to have another successful General Assembly session with our office to keep the economy moving.
All right, thanks,
Remind us
everybody.
of the dollar figure in this.